Well, hello out there. My name is Camille Jamerson. I am one of the founding sorors and the current president of Alpha Omega Lambda Sorority Incorporated. Thank you so much for joining the Hot Pink Pod. Today's episode is going to be something that I hope helps you, whether you are in a sorority or sisterhood or not. It's geared towards those of us who are, but it is wisdom and advice and tips that can help you in any type of relationship. So today I want to talk about something. It's really simple and it's powerful. I call it kind of the sister check-in, not the big event, not the meeting, not even the group chat. Um, I'm talking about the small gesture that says, I see you. I thought about you. You still matter to me. You're important. Summer is beautiful. Love summer. Is my favorite season, but it can also be a strange season for connection, right? People travel, schedules shift, organizations, even like ours, slow down. Families get busy. People go quiet because they're resting. Some because life is lifing, and some because they're waiting to see if anybody even notices. And that's where culture is really built. It's not only in the major moments, but in the quiet ones, like summer. Just recently, I sent out summer cards to all of the sorors in my sorority. It was just a simple handwritten note, nothing dramatic. Um, I even sent cards to people who haven't been active or who have actually gone inactive, because connections should not always be transactional, right? Sometimes you reach out simply because someone has been a part of your circle, or as I said in some of the cards, part of your story or part of your sisterhood. It cost me a stamp, y'all, and a little bit of time. But that little bit of effort can communicate care and concern in a way that other methods sometimes cannot. So today, I just want to share with you a few simple ways to stay connected over the summer, whether you're in a sorority, whether you're part of a friend group, whether you're managing long distance relationships, got cousins that live way down south, or simply trying to keep your people close, even when life is busy. Because I feel that you don't have to be in somebody's face every week in order to stay connected, but you do have to choose connection on purpose. So, idea number one, send the card. That's the one I'm starting with because it's the one that I just did. Send the card. And it's what inspired this whole podcast episode. Not a long letter, not a 4-page dissertation, just a simple card that says, thinking of you. Um, Hope your summer is giving you room to breathe, or just wanted to remind you that you're appreciated. In a digital world like the one we live in, a handwritten card can feel different. It says that you paused. It says that you chose a card. It says you wrote their name. You put it in the mail. It's not a grand gesture, y'all, but I think it is a memorable one. And here's the key: do not only send cards to the people who are the most visible or the most active. Sometimes the person who has gotten quiet is the person who needs the reminder the most. Okay, idea number two, do a no ask check in. A no ask check in is exactly what it sounds like. You're not asking them to serve on the committee. You're not asking them to RSVP. You're not asking them why they have been quiet. You're not asking for anything, right? You're just simply saying, you crossed my mind today, and I hope you're doing okay. That's the kind of message that lowers people's defenses because it doesn't come with an assignment attached. So try something like, hey, no need to respond right away. Just wanted to check in and say, I hope your summer's been kind to you. That could be a text message. I love using voice notes because you can still hear my voice, you can still hear my inflection, but you don't feel compelled to have to answer the phone when I call, right? I think phone calls, although are important, can be very intrusive. So a voice note gives you that same vibe, but you can listen to it at your leisure. And I think a message like that is simple, it's grown, right? And it's caring without pressure. Number 3, remember someone's season. Everybody is in a season, and a good sister or a good friend pays attention. Somebody might be grieving, somebody might be job hunting, someone might be celebrating a new role. And we have a new role that we're going to be celebrating really, really soon. I can't wait to tell everybody with one of my sorors, something that she's been waiting on a long time. And I've been keeping that in the back of my head. So when we're released to share it, I can celebrate her, right? Another sister might be exhausted from caregiving. Another one might be tackling a health issue. Somebody might be just trying to get back to herself. And a meaningful check in often starts with remembering what someone is actually living through, right? So instead of, how are you? Try something like, how has this week been for you with everything that you're carrying, right? Or, I remember you said this month was going to be heavy. I just wanted to check on you. Um, One of our sorors, I put in our chat that I needed help with a particular project that I was working on. It was just something really, really quick. I said, if anybody can jump in and help, that'd be awesome. And she was like, oh my gosh, I wish I could, but I have a doctor's appointment, a consult. And so another soror jumped in and helped, and it was all good. But I think that very next day, I went right back and inboxed her like, "Hey, what did they say in that consult, though?" Right? Because it wasn't just about you weren't able to help me, so oh well, never mind. It was, I heard what you said. I heard what you were going to be going through, and I need to check on you to find out what's going on. That matters to me. I think that tells people that you were listening, you were paying attention. And in a world where everybody is talking, being remembered is such a gift. Okay. Number 4, create a tradition, something tiny. Connection gets easier when it has like a rhythm. So a tiny tradition could be a monthly voice note, first Friday check-in or something like that, a shared playlist where both of you guys add to it, a Sunday evening text. Every Sunday evening, I'm going to text and check on you, or a quick coffee FaceTime once a month. It doesn't have to be complicated, right? For sororities or organizations, it could be as simple as pairing people up for summer check-ins. I wish I had thought about this before we went on summer break, but not like a formal mentorship program, not a whole new committee, just 2 women assigned to check on each other once or twice during the summer. That's a low lift, but I think it has a high impact, because I believe that sometimes the problem isn't that people don't care, it's that they need help with a rhythm to make care happen, right? And that is something that in our organization we take seriously, because everybody doesn't receive love and care and affection, um, and encouragement and motivation the same way. And it is difficult to meet multiple needs. And we've devoted an entire department um, to our sisterhood experience. And just recently, um, have someone that's going to take leadership in that area. And that is going to be one of her main tasks, to make sure that we meet people where they are, that we get into a rhythm of checking on folks and making sure that they're okay. And if they know they're not going to get a birthday card from anybody else, they know their sorority is going to remember them and think about them. And I think those little traditional things are one of the easiest ways to stay connected without forcing a full conversation. So, like, send the song, right? Send the meme, send the sermon clip, right? Send the article to them. Those little touch points, send that quote. You know who would really get a kick out of it. Um, you're taking a walk and you see something cool. You got a soror that's into nature. Send that to them. Send that this made me think of you, Tex. It says that you are in my mental circle. And I think those moments matter. People want to know that they are not only remembered when there's a meeting or when there's a crisis or when you need something. Okay. So that was actually idea number 5. So number 6 is celebrate the small things, not just the milestones. We always celebrate the big things, the birthdays, the promotions, graduations, weddings, babies, big announcements, all the things, right? But I think sometimes that small things deserve attention too. Somebody got through a hard week. Somebody started kind of walking in their purpose again. Somebody cleaned out a room. Somebody finally took the rest that they needed. We have a soror that's on vacation right now, and she said in a previous, in our summer soiree, that this was the first vacation she is has taken in years, years. Amazing mom. She has a full-time job doing all the things, but it's been years since she's taken a vacation. And when we were like, when are you leaving? And when that day came, I texted her. I'm like, hey, are you there? What's going on? And she let me know that she landed safely. Um, and that is really something to celebrate because she came back to herself and gave herself some self-care. And I think that that should be celebrated as well. We have sorors that have been invited to do some amazing things. We have one that is a DJ in her free time, and she's been asked on several major platforms to share her gift. And when she sends us that information, we celebrate that. If somebody comes back to themselves after a bit where they've been a bit off, right? A simple, I'm proud of you for that can just land deeply. I think this is really important in sisterhood because real talk, we're not here for just the highlight reel, right? We're here for the becoming, for the rebuilding, for the trying again, the everyday wins that nobody else may see. We actually ask in, I think it's our recruitment form, like, what are you working on as it relates to you? I hear you want to come in and do all the things and you are Wonder Woman, see you roar. And I'm here for that. But what are you working on as it relates to you? Because we want to follow that. We want to follow that journey and we want to celebrate and applaud you when it comes to fruition. Idea number 7, make reconnection easy. This is for the people who have gone quiet, who've drifted or stepped away or stepped back. Sometimes we make re-entry too hard. We make it too hard because, we won't, why you do that? We want explanations, accountability, context, and a full report before somebody can feel welcome again. Now, with that being said, boundaries matter, standards matter, right? If somebody has caused harm or broken trust, then that doesn't mean that there isn't room for restoration, but there is a conversation that needs to be had. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is for people who just simply got busy or who got overwhelmed or who got embarrassed or disconnected or quiet or frustrated with the relationship or the organization, sometimes the best thing we can do is just leave the door cracked open. And a card can do that. A soft message can do that. We miss you, hope you're well can do that. Not chasing, not begging folks. I'm not saying that, but just leaving room for connection to breathe, right? So finally, here's the heart of it. Connection doesn't always require a big event, right? It doesn't require a long call. It doesn't require everybody even being in the same city or even in the same state. Sometimes connection is simply a stamp. It's a voice note. It's a text with no agenda. It's that cool song. It's that handwritten card. It's that memory that you share. It's a small reminder that says, hey, you still matter here. It's that moment you remember what someone has overcome or what they're going through. For the month of August, later, the second half of August is really a rough time for me. It's the season where my mom had gotten extremely sick and within weeks had decided she was done and that she wanted to go to hospice, and she ended up passing away right at the end of the month. And I've got friends like clockwork. They are going to check on me into August. I'm going to get a card. I'm going to get a call. I'm going to get a text. I'm going to get a, hey girl, you good? How you coming this year? I'm going to get that every year. And it just feels good to know that they think enough of me to remember my seasons. And they pause a minute out of their day to let me know that they're still thinking about me. They're still thinking about my grief journey, and they care about me without wanting anything from me. And I think that that's the kind of love and care that I hope that we continue to nurture. We don't get it all right, but we're working on it. We are building sisterhood. We're building friendship, family. We're building community. And if you are, or building any kind of meaningful circle, remember this, that culture is not just what we say we value, it's what people feel from us on a consistent basis. If people only hear from us when we need something, that's your culture. If people hear from us when we're checking in, when we're celebrating them, when we're remembering their season and making room for them to be human, that's culture too. So this summer, I want to challenge you. Pick 3 people and check in with them in a way that feels really, really personal, whether it's sending a card like I did, just shooting them a message, making the call, dropping the voice note, share a song, and not with a whole group of people, just 1 or 2. Not because you need anything, but because connection deserves care. Friendships have to be nurtured, even in the quiet season. And this is quiet season for most Greek organizations. We mostly go quiet in the summer, and behind the scenes are preparing for fall recruitment. So if you are a part of Alpha Omega Lambda, or you've been watching us from the sidelines, this is part of the kind of sisterhood we're building, the rhythm that we're building. It's not perfect, y'all. It's not performative either, but it's present, it's thoughtful, and we're willing to do the small things that hopefully make people feel seen. So I hope that one of these ideas sparked an interest with you. I hope it helps. Why don't you drop down in the comments here on YouTube and let me know which one you're going to try. And I would really be curious as to how it went, and if it didn't go a long way in helping to keep and build the connection that you have with those that you care about. So, on behalf of the entire Alpha Omega Lambda Sorority Incorporated, thank you again for tuning in. Look forward to more summer broadcasting while we are on summer break. There are some things we have taped and we'll be sharing with you during this time. As you see scrolling across the screen throughout this episode, fall recruitment is well underway. Um, so many of you have reached out and filled out your interest form, and we are so excited to already be in conversations with some of you. But if you haven't already, or if you have in the past and think this might actually be the season, let us know. You can reach out to us, fill out the recruitment form on our website by going to www.alphaomegalambda.com. Click that pink I'm interested button and fill out the form. If you've done that already, just shoot us an email, aolsorority@gmail.com. That email will be changing soon, but right now, that's where you can reach us, aolsorority@gmail.com, and say, hey, Camille, I've been out of the loop. I put in my interest last year or whatever, but I really want to lean in for this fall season, and we'll get you right back in the loop. It's as simple as that, right? All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. Until the next time, I'm your host, Camille Jamerson. It's been a pleasure. I'll talk with you soon.